But Amal Shah, you've got some thoughts. It's not just the Bengals, but overall the production of their head coach who's kind of under the radar in Zac Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely. Patrick, when you look at this guy, people didn't even know who he was when he came in there. Remember, he played quarterback in Nebraska. They had 2 wins his first year. This is going to be his 5th season. The second year, they have 4 wins. The third year, they have 10 wins. That was Joe Burrow's second year. And then last year, they have 12 wins. They close out the regular season on an 8-game winning streak. You factor in the postseason. They won 2 more games there before they lost that game in Kansas City. And you can make the argument a call went against them that was, one that may not have been called or should have been called. So from that standpoint, he's got this team in the right position every time. Think about that, just that steady increase over time. And I'm going to give you some other stats to kind of just show you how effective Zac Taylor's been from an offensive standpoint. When he took over in his first year, they were 30th in total offense. His second year, they were 29th in total offense. That was Joe Burrow's rookie season. The next year after that, they were 7th. Last year, they were 7th in scoring offense, and they were 26.1 points per game. This is a team that's only gotten better and better. And now you've got Joe Burrow in his 4th year, Jamar Chase in his 3rd year. You've got T. Higgins, Joe Mixon signed through 2024. You've got all the pieces on offense. The one problem that continued to plague this team, Patrick, was the offensive line. They went out and addressed that. We saw 2 years ago, Joe Burrow got sacked a ridiculous 77 times. Last year, he gets sacked 44 times for a combined 121 over the last 2 seasons. So how do you improve upon that? You got to go get an offensive lineman on the left side that can help you out. And here's why I think the benefit of Orlando Brown comes in. I want to get your thoughts on this. You take a piece away from the Kansas City Chiefs of someone that protected Patrick Mahomes. Now you're bringing in a guy that's going to be able to protect the blind side of Joe Burrow. But the biggest benefit is this. Orlando Brown talked about it. Patrick Mahomes is 21st in release time from snap to throw in the NFL. Joe Burrow, Patrick, is number 2.
Yeah, I'm a huge I'm glad you brought up Burrow. I freaking love this guy. I'm not sure I'd start with anybody but Burrow. This side of Mahomes, which is fascinating because we're talking obviously about the AFC Amal. First off, 11.5 is the number over at DraftKings. If you want to go over, it's plus 110 on the Cincinnati Bengals. I went through the schedule because I knew you were going to be discussing them today. I got them at 14 wins, and I'm not kidding. And you can go 3-3 in the North, and I still got them 14 wins. How about the fact that they've got the AFC South? Okay, this is a team, if you look through the schedule, it ain't brutal. And look at the start to the schedule. I got them 5-1 going into the bye. So let's go ahead and take a look. And this was just earlier, just a cursory glance at the Browns, Baltimore, Rams, Titans, Cardinals, Seahawks, bye. And they host the Seahawks heading into their bye, which is always a key as far as the scheduling. Boom, 6-0, 5-1 going into the break. I mentioned they play the putrid AFC South. It's a team that I've got winning. Look, you got to get the 12 if you want to go over the 11.5, obviously. I think that's a shoo-in. I love this team over.
I would agree with you. Let's take away the AFC division, the AFC North for a second, because they've been challenged in that division. When you look, and I'm going to break down a little bit of their wins and losses over the last couple years.
They go 3, if they go 3-3, 500 in division, Amal, I still got them winning 13, 14 games.
I would agree with you because, look, they're 1-0 against the Buffalo Bills. They did have that game that was postponed, the DeMar Hamlin situation. They beat them on the road in Orchard Park. They are 3-1 against the Kansas City Chiefs in the last 4 meetings in the last 2 seasons. All 4 of those games have been decided by 3 points, but it seems like they've had the upper hand every time. Kansas City doesn't seem to have an answer for Joe Burrow in this offense, and you brought up another good point, which is, to me, I'm with you. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow would be my first pick if you were drafting in terms of starting a franchise today. He's absolutely unbelievable. We're not going to get too many opportunities to getting the Bengals plus points, but if you do, I would recommend taking them anytime you get them this season. I think you'll probably catch points in Kansas City this year when they play late in the season, depending on assuming both teams are healthy. This team, just a couple numbers on them last couple years, 27-13, including the playoffs. They've lost 9 times out of those 13 losses by 3 points or less. Think about how impressive this team is. They are in every one of those games. 5 of the 11 losses have come against the division. So this team competes. Now, division, you have familiarity. I think that's the one area you'd be a little bit concerned. But they're coming off of a bye before they play San Francisco. They get the Buffalo Bills at home on a Sunday night game. I am completely with you, Patrick. I actually think they've got a great shot to start 6-0. Now, the Browns have had their number a little bit. The Browns are 3-1 against them in the last 2 seasons. But still, opening the season, I think you'll see a focused Bengals team team. You get the Ravens, as you alluded to. The rest of that schedule is very, very manageable going into the bye. This team has a strong possibility of going into Santa Clara at 6-0 when the season, second half of the season kind of starts for them.
I think the conference, as I laid it out at the beginning of them all, I think the conference is the goal. And so I think they're going to have their foot on the gas. You just nailed it. Potentially 6-0 going into the bye. What a vibe it would be. 12 wins last year. What are you, freaking crazy, big guy? You're not going over at 11.5? Go ahead. Come at me with your contrarian take. I'll shoot it down. Go ahead.
I think if we were drafting, like if there was League Pass for the NFL Sunday ticket for whatever it is now on YouTube, like I think the Bengals are the #1 pick that you want to watch every week because the offense is so dynamic.
I just love Burrow.
They have so many weapons. They have a run game if Mixon is back. Like Amal pointed out, the O-line will be better, but I think this defense doesn't get enough credit.
I agree with you.
Because they do the one thing you need to do, and the one thing that makes every other aspect of your defense better is they get to the quarterback. So you got Hubbard and Hendrickson on the ends. They get after the quarterback. They have a great pass rush, which then makes your secondary better, and they can take advantage of mistakes more. And I think this defense is the most slept-on unit maybe in all of football.
I would agree with you there. And guys, real quick, couple of things. Yesterday I said, hey, Jacksonville's a potential long shot to win the AFC, but that's more of a hedge play because they're in such a weak division. This team, to me, right now, is 1A, B, to win this conference. It's them in Kansas City for me. I think they've got a great opportunity to do it. And here's another thing why it's very important this year for Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is in the 4th year. Next year will be the 5th-year rookie option, which will go to about $22 million. After that, you're going to have Jamar Chase in that situation. You're not going to have that cap-friendly type of number. They've already signed Sam Hubbard to a long-term deal. Joe Mixon will come off the books in 2024. But you've got to make it work right now with T. Higgins, with Boyd, with Jamar Chase. The opportunity is there. And I'm with you, Patrick. As great as Mahomes is, I don't know if Mahomes throws with the same level of accuracy that Joe Burrow does. To me, I don't know if there's a more enjoyable quarterback to watch play in the National Football League. This team's got a great opportunity. Right now, sitting plus 550. I don't think Buffalo should be ahead of them in terms of the AFC. I think the Bengals at plus 550 are a good number. And if for any reason things go wrong without Brown on the left side of that offense for Kansas City, this could be a great opportunity for Cincinnati to get back to the Super Bowl. And one other thing on Zac Taylor, 2 AFC championship games in 2 years. And let's be real here. I know people in Cincinnati will agree with me. They got hosed down the stretch in that game in Arrowhead.
Look, talking about the NFL is pretty simple. You start 2 places, quarterback and head coach.
Yep.
Zac Taylor has proven himself. We're going on and on about Burrow for good reason. The path to the AFC sets up nicely for him. Amal said potentially going to the bye 6-0. You love it. Dustin just nailed it. It's not just one of the league's best rosters as far as offense, because you think about the studs defensively as well. It's a well-rounded team. It's got something to prove. 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, a loss. The Bengals are going to be awesome this year. 11.5 at plus money. Love it. Eat it up.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.